last chance, no beating around the bush.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Blake Production.
What is up? Let's go over the S&P 500 here. So I want to go over this just because right now I think it's important to pay attention to the overall market. A lot of names that I like to, like, I have a list of like over 100 stocks, right? It's like 100 and how many? 170 right now, and I like to build up this list. But if we just scroll down, and it's been like this for like a few weeks, despite like the market gradually grinding a little bit higher, it's been like this. Like, it's a bloody time in the markets right now, especially for tech, right? And growth names are getting slaughtered. Like right now, it's like not a fun time in the market, right? So I'd like to go over this and just see what we could be potentially running into in the next few days, weeks, because it's important. Like, I want to know, because to be honest with you, I feel like so many names are already beat up. If the market now flushes too, I feel like there's going to be some serious opportunity that's going to be created. Just a quick example, I'm going to go over the S&P and the NAS, but just quickly, I'll go over PLTR, right? We look at this name and it's been absolutely brutalized. Like, it is getting pounded right now. You do not want to be a buyer right now. So what is it going to take for this name to turn around, right? So I have this major level kind of marked out because I want to be a buyer at this level, right? Now I'm thinking if the overall markets have a big turnaround, especially the NAS, it's going to cause those names to really, like, people are going to start capitulating hard. And that's when the opportunity is going to come in. So I'm super hands off right now. I'm just watching. So when I'm looking at this, it looks like we're starting at a nice little A, B, C correction. How far is this going to go? We don't really know. For all we know, this could just turn around and start ripping tomorrow. That also could happen. But right now, I'm leaning a little bit bearish. Things have been absolutely wild since 2020, right? We've gone up like extensively. The S&P, this is the futures I'm looking at, but the S&P has risen around 120% in 2 years, right? Like, it could be a great time to just pause, consolidate, right? And create the opportunity. Because in my opinion, when the markets are like, when start showing a lot of fear and people are, that's when it's the time to buy. Like right now, a lot of names are just getting beat up, but we're still kind of high. Like, what's going to happen if we start making serious corrections here? It's going to cause those names to reach levels that are a lot more attractive for us as like investors and traders, right? So I'm kind of watching this right now. We're breaking this trend line, and I want to see, are we going to hold this 4,500 mark? If we do hold it and we turn around, then I guess the ride is just going to continue going. But like, man, I don't know. I just have a feeling right now. And again, feelings don't really mean much. But when I run this Fibonacci extension tool, when I run that tool and I bring it back just like that, it gives us this. The 2 extension brings us back down to 4,200. Now, that I think would be pretty good in my opinion. It would be an 11% correction from the highs, which would be pretty much the largest correction that we've seen since the 2020 COVID crash, right? We had a 9% correction. That was still September 2020. We haven't had anything even near that, right? So if it happens now at the beginning of the year, I think not only will it create opportunity, but I think it'll start to make a lot more sense to what's going on. Like, maybe the markets have been hinting to us that it wants to turn around, right? If we look, there's some bearish divergence here on the chart. Like, the chart, this could be telling us that it definitely is time. We're sitting around 39 on the RSI, and when the COVID crash came, we made the lows of 18, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, like, if we do correct, how far down is the RSI going to go? That's something I'm going to be looking for, just because think about how many times it comes back down to this like 18, 19 range, and each and every time it's been an absolute buy, right? So let's just look at the past 2 times here, right? This was COVID. It hit around just below 20, and that was the reaction. Look what happened. Huge opportunity. When we look at over here back in 2018, it made just around 2019-ish, right? And look at that reaction after, right? That's what I'm looking for in the coming weeks. I want to see, are we going to hit that number 2 extension and get a bounce from there? That I think would start to cause more fear in the market. And a lot of these charts, man, I think that's when they'll want to turn around. So again, if you look at the NAS, it's very similar, right? There's this huge trend line that we're holding. So we break through it today. Tomorrow and the rest of the week will be very interesting. Again, like I said, we can literally turn around and just go right back to all-time highs like nothing ever happened tomorrow and in the coming weeks. But if not, this is what I think could happen. So I'm going to be watching again this level. I feel like 14,000 will create how much of a drawback would that be? 13%, right? And if we were to come back down to here, that's 22%. So all I have is these levels marked out because they are previous support and resistance. So that's what I'll be looking for to see, like, are we going to come back to test those levels? That could be a sign, right? So again, there is some bearish divergence here. It's not as strong as the S&P, but we do have the bearish divergence going on. So it will be interesting to see in the coming weeks. That's my eyes on the NASDAQ and the S&P. All right. Peace, guys.